So as president of Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery, my day-to-day tasks are to obviously chair the board of directors and make sure that they stay on task and that we're working on the projects that we should be working on. And then on the operational side of the organization, I also work with each division head to make sure that the projects that they have going are making progress. We also work on making sure that they have the resources that they need to do those projects and to get through them. Anything that they need, they can come to me. We do a 2-week project scope where every 2 weeks we meet with them. We work through the progress that's been going on, what tasks need to happen next, and I do that with myself and our VP of Operations, Ed, and that's how we work that progress forward. I get a lot of gratification out of not only seeing the folks that we help get out of a bad situation, but I really enjoy watching the team form. I enjoy watching people that come in as new members start to get more and more involved and go through our training, and to get that own gratification for themselves really is what keeps me here. When we get a call for help from somebody usually out in the backcountry who's on the Jeep Trail, it rings a centralized phone number that rings all of our dispatchers. One of them is able to grab a call. They take down a whole bunch of information. There's a couple of qualifiers in order for our services to apply. You have to be on either a Forest Service road or a 4x4 trail, and there also has to be no medical complications with the response. If there is, we make sure that they call 911, and then we go ahead and we follow up with that county to make sure that that call was received. Our teams don't provide any medical service, and that's kind of a core baseline for us. So once we've gone through that intake form, we make sure that none of those things are present. We put out a page to our volunteers. They receive that page. We've put out what requirements we need for that recovery, any kind of specialized equipment. And then our volunteers get a page on their phone. It comes in through an SMS service. They get that page. They're able to hop on and let us know that they're able to respond. Once we get that team put together, we identify what repeater we're going to use. We get on the radio and everyone coordinates and gets to a staging location. Once that team's at the staging location, they go through a couple brief safety items where we make sure we delegate the proper things to them. And then we either meet up with the person if they're on site, or if they're coming in from down in town. If they've already left their vehicle, they'll meet up with the team then. From there, the team will proceed out onto the trail, get on site and make an assessment of what's going on. The first thing that we always want to do is a stuck assessment. We make sure that the equipment that we're going to use is proper for the job that needs to be done. We go through the process of doing the recovery, get them out, get them back to the trailhead, and that's really where our services end, is once they're back safe on the pavement. So I would classify Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery as a public service organization that provides a niche service to the community, usually in the backcountry, but we'll respond all over depending on where the request comes from. But we really fill that gap between search and rescue, tow companies, and the abilities of most local resources. So while those qualifiers do exist when we are operating as a standalone organization, they don't necessarily apply when we're called in by an agency or other public service organization. We will typically respond to any request where we are able to fill the gap that they need. So if a local sheriff's office needs help getting people off of a highway or a county road, as happened last spring out east, we are totally capable of operating within that scope. And we'll always maintain that we will only do what we're capable of doing, and capable of doing safely. That instance where someone gets stuck and they're in the backcountry, they may have cell service, so they're able to call for help, but they're not in a location that a tow company can get to easily, or that they're even willing to get to. So what we're able to fall between is that tow company and search and rescue, because we can go out there and we can get them out hours before they would have then escalated this call to a search and rescue situation where they're going to have to go in and get the people out and bring them out. So, good example, 2 p.m. someone gets stuck, there's a snowstorm coming in. A search and rescue is not going to activate unless there's, a risk to life or health. And so, they'll be out there and they'll be stuck, but a tow company may not be able to get to them. So we're able to get out there. We can get them out, prevent search and rescue from going out unneededly, kind of prevent their volunteers from going out for no reason, and, get them out, get them safe. And then again, if they were to wait for the search and rescue organization to come get them, well, then tomorrow we're probably going to get activated to go get their vehicle anyway. We take training pretty seriously at Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery. We have multiple different sections of training, whether it's recovery training, driver training, communications training, and all of these things come together to make a good team member. And what I really love to see is the culture that's been kind of instilled in all of our members, where they really want to learn, they want to level up. and become that valuable asset to the organization, but also to the public as a whole. We have a training task book, which essentially moves them through our training credential levels. At each one of those different levels, there's different opportunities available to them, what they're able to do in the field, what they're able to do back, as a dispatcher. And it really helps us to maintain, a professional, consistent service to the public. So our SARES team, which stands for our Search and Rescue Emergency Support Team, is a team of highly qualified volunteers within our organization. They go through additional training to make sure that they're a good resource to other agencies and organizations, and it also steps up the level of service that we can provide. Typically, this team will do person extraction, large area vehicle-based searches, communication support, be it a voice communication support, or even tracking of assets through radio communications. And they're really set up to be that resource that a county or an agency can call in to go above and beyond in a vehicle-based capacity what their resources can handle. To get involved with Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery, the process is pretty simple at first. You hop on our website, there's a member sign up link on there. If you hop on there, you can pick your membership level and just get right involved right there. From there, we go through a simple onboarding process where you'll get some information, a welcome packet, which kind of walks you through some of the different processes that we have in place. You'll get signed up for those text alerts. You'll start going to training, and then throughout that task book process that we talked about, you'll be able to level up through the organization and get your involvement right where you want to be. So there's a lot of ways you can get involved with Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery. We have a lot of needs outside of just responding members in the field. There's administrative needs, there's dispatch needs, which is basically the lifeblood of this organization. It holds everything together. So not only can you get involved, on those back end processes, but you can get into the field. Really the sky is the limit.